today we have a let's cook a lean and green. And what I'm gonna make today is, I've had this on one of my what I eat in a days, the one that I had my husband, join me on, and it was our Enchilada Casserole. I don't think that's the actual name of the recipe, but I got this recipe from Sandy's Kitchen Adventures. It's a wonderful resource, and I will link the recipe in this video. But I thought I would just do, let's cook together. So it's gonna start with a spaghetti squash. So let's cut this baby in half. Actually, I'm gonna cook 2 of them because I think this one was a little too small. So I'm gonna cook 2 of them to get enough, because it takes, I'm going from memory here, but I think it's 4.5 cups of spaghetti squash to make this casserole. So let's cut this baby in half. Here I go. This is the hardest part. Hopefully my head's not cut off. I've been known to do that. Okay, so cutting a spaghetti squash, there is a trick to this. I am not very strong. I wish my husband was here, he could do this. So get a very sharp, large knife, and what you wanna do is cut the ends off. Okay, you're gonna cut both ends off to give you a solid, stable surface to work with. So let's do that first. Gotta put your muscle behind it. Okay, there it goes. Thank you. That one was not so hard. Now I'm gonna do on the other side. Oh, good, I did it, yay. Okay, now, my glass off. All right, now we're gonna cut it in half. I feel like I did a whole video one time and I looked like Mr. Magoo because you were seeing like this, yeah. So let's don't do that again. So now we're gonna cut this thing in half. So here we go. I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna tell y'all, that went really smoothly. I've done some of these before. That was my workout for the day. All right, and it's gonna look like this, kind of like a pumpkin. We gotta scrape all that out before we cook it. I've already preheated my oven to 400. Now let's do this one. Let's hope this one is as easy. Be sure and take your sticker off before you put it in the oven. Have y'all ever done that? Left your sticker on? Do you know what I did the very first time I cooked a turkey? Thank goodness my mother was there. I forgot to take the giblets and all that stuff out. Didn't even know it was in there. I almost cooked it with all that stuff inside. I bet you a lot of people do that. All right, let's cut this off the end. This one's harder. This one's a lot harder. That's why I'm really happy about editing. Okay, let's do the other end. Don't be as hard. I'm telling you, you burn a few calories making this meal. And if anybody's got a tip that makes this part easier, I am all ears. Easier. Yay. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cut this baby in half. And I'm probably gonna have more than I need because this one's pretty big. Yeah, this one's rough. There we go. All right, now we're gonna see, I'm a little out of breath. That was a workout. Now we're just gonna scoop all the yuck out. And this is not like scooping out a pumpkin, but this meal is so delicious, it's worth it. Okay, they're ready. They're ready to go in the oven. I scooped out all the insides and I squirted a little bit of original Pam, just a tiny amount on each rim so that it won't stick. It's on a foil lined pan and we're gonna put it in the oven for about 45 minutes at 400 degrees. I roast them really high, and the way you test them is just with a fork. If it goes all the way through on the outside, you know they're done. Let's pop them in the oven. Okay, now we're gonna start getting all the ingredients ready to build our casserole. The spaghetti squash will be done soon. So right now I'm gonna chop up 1/4 cup of bell pepper, fresh bell pepper. And this is gonna go towards our green. So in a lean and green, your lean and green consists of protein, green vegetables. Well, we call them green vegetables. Not all of them are green. Some of them are tomatoes, some of them are red, some of them are white. But we call them greens, healthy greens. So we're gonna cut up our bell pepper, 1/4 cup. And then the other component to a lean and green is a healthy fat. All right, so let me get this chopped up. And then we'll get our ground beef going, which is gonna be our protein source, part of our protein source. Some of our protein is gonna come from cheese. Okay, my timer just went off. Let's check to see if our spaghetti squash is done. I can hear them sizzling. Look at that. They smell really good. All right, so I'm gonna angle the camera down just a tad so y'all can see what I'm doing here. All right, so you want them to be tender. You want that fork to just slide in. Well, once you go through the, oh, there we go. Yeah, once you get through the skin. Oh, yeah. Those are definitely ready. All right, I'm gonna flip them over so they can start cooling. Yum. There's a little piece I didn't get out. Look at that. Perfect. Now we're gonna let those cool. And while those are cooling, we're gonna get our ground beef mixture together. Okay, what you're doing here is you're browning your ground beef, and you're gonna use a little over a pound. If you don't have a little over a pound, because most of them come in 1 pound packages, you can add a little bit more cheese to this to make up for that lean, okay? Because this is a recipe, it serves 4, and each serving is a complete lean ingredient, meaning you don't have to add anything to it, no salad, no nothing, okay? So if you don't have the right amount of ground beef, you can always add a little extra meatless option guides to know how much cheese to add to do that calculation, or consult with your coach. They can help you figure that out. Okay, so I'm just browning browning the ground beef here on like medium-high heat, okay? I'm gonna go ahead, let me just break it up a little. The recipe is really easy, and it's one of my favorites because, well, first of all, it's delicious. Secondly, it's very filling. And thirdly, it's what I call a one-pot meal. So once it's made, it's everything you need. And my husband and I are empty nesters. Well, really, it's not a sad thing. We're empty nesters. And so we can eat on this 2 nights in a row. Cook once, eat twice. Love it. Okay, so that's getting brown. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add in my 1/4 cup of bell peppers that we chopped, and a whole can of Rotel tomatoes. You can use whichever ones you want. I choose mild. Because my husband does not like spicy things. So you're just gonna mix this up. The ground beef is gonna continue to brown while the peppers and tomatoes are sauteing. You just get that all mixed around. I'm gonna turn this up just a little. You really do it kind of like on a medium-high heat. So let's get this cooking. And while this continues to cook, we're gonna get our spaghetti squash. And now comes the funnest part of this whole recipe. Where'd my fork go? Oh, well, except for eating it. Okay, so we need 4.5 cups. This is a 4-cup measuring, so I'm gonna just heap it on. It's gonna be full. So the way you do spaghetti squash, this is the fun part, y'all. Now I've cooled it off so I can touch it. Watch, I want y'all to see this. If you've never done spaghetti squash, look at that. It makes like strands, almost like strands of spaghetti. Now, so you just scoop it into your measuring cup. Just like that, scrape, scrape, scrape. This real quick, and then I'll be right back. So fun. Okay, I got all of the spaghetti squash scooped into my big measuring cup. And then I put all the remaining ingredients in here. This bowl is a 1/2 cup of reduced fat yogurt, a 1/2 cup of red enchilada sauce. I just use the Old El Paso. You can get whatever kind you'd like. And then a half teaspoon of chili powder and cream cheese, reduced fat cream cheese. So you're gonna mix it all together. And like I said, I'm gonna post this recipe so you don't have to worry about remembering all this or writing everything down. And just go to Sandy's Kitchen Adventures. She has done all the hard work for us, y'all. She is amazing. I'd love to hug her neck someday. Now, we can't do no hugging right now. It'll be a little lumpy, not too pretty, but that's okay because it's delicious. All right, now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring my skillet over that has our ground beef mixture in it. Sprayed my 13x9 pan with a little bit of original Pam. Here's my ground beef, tomato, and bell pepper mixture. Now we're gonna just mix it all together and put it in this pan. It's so simple. So in goes the spaghetti squash. I love one-pot meals, y'all. Love one-pot meals. And be sure and cook your ground beef, even though it's just one little over a pound. Cook it in a big skillet like this so you have room for this mixing. And honestly, this skillet's probably not big enough. I probably should have used I have a really deep skillet. That's what I normally use. I don't know why I grabbed this one. It's been one of them days. I won't plop it out. All right, you get all that mixed around pretty evenly. So you get yummy goodness with every bite. I think I just dropped something, and she is Johnny on the spot when you drop something, man. That's why she needs Optavia. She's becoming quite a full-figured little girl. Yeah, aren't you, Mama? I know how it is, girl. We're gonna take our cheese and enchilada sauce, chili powder mixture, and mix that all in with it. Get every last drop, people. Most of your flavor is. I mean, you get some flavor from the bell peppers and the rotel, but here's the enchilada flavor. Okay, so we're gonna mix that all together. That's kind of what it looks like. All right, now we're gonna transfer it over into our 13 by 9. Daddy's home. There go the dogs. Okay, here we go. Pop that in here. Just make sure I didn't, you missed some spots. You want to get it all good and incorporated. And then when when you dump it out of that skillet, you can see where you might have missed a few spots mixing it up. Cook once, eat twice. All right, now I didn't have quite enough ground beef, so I have a little more cheese than what the recipe calls for. The recipe calls for 2/3 a cup. This is a whole cup. So we're just gonna sprinkle that on all over the top. Okay, you wanna just sprinkle it all around. You wanna get it good and covered. Don't miss a spot, because man, you want that bubbly cheese. I'm gonna pop this into the oven. I believe, I need to have these recipes out in front of me. You know what the problem is? All my recipes are on my phone. And I'm using my phone to video, but I believe it's 45 minutes. Pretty sure. But like I said, I'm gonna post the recipe, so no need to worry. All right, I'm gonna go get this in the oven, and then it's gonna be delicious. Okay, my timer just went off. It is dinner, y'all. Here we go, hold on, let me get it out. Oh my gosh. Here, let me readjust you so you can see. And there it is. It's a thing of beauty. So there it is, guys. This 13 by 9 inch pan is 4 servings. This is 4 complete lean greens. So my husband and I will eat twice on this. Cook once, eat twice. My favorite kind of meal. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. I hope y'all have enjoyed this Let's Cook Lean and Green, and I will see y'all next time.